I cut that?
I'll write it down, Sandy.
Okay, we will open this meeting
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
of November 8th, 2011. The records show that Selectman Dawson and Selectman Boudreau are not present. We are here as a budget workshop, Selectmen's meeting / budget workshop. So, Dennis, highway budget.
Yes, can I just,
Yep.
clean out my cameras, please?
Okay.
Okay. This is the 10-year road plan.
Oh, thank you.
Goes up. And I'll give you
Now, let's have one for,
one of them. Okay, wait just a minute, no?
can I have an extra road plan for
Here
Catherine?
is the 10-year equipment plan.
You say more?
There is none.
All right.
Can I have one of each
I'll give one for, yeah.
for Catherine and,
Dennis, do you have a copy of the budget?
No, I don't. Tim's got one.
Well, I've got
Oh,
one for you.
okay.
all right, this is for Catherine Norm.
Okay.
You have a copy of that, and I'll get a copy.
Thing.
What?
Whatever you have,
All the roads got floor plan?
whatever you're going to discuss.
Here, you want to make copies? You can take it right over there, make copies if you want.
Okay. What do you
you
want
get
to
a
go over
knife?
first?
Yep, I
Well, I
put them
think
right on
I'll,
top of the, of the...
Oh, okay.
So as the board recommended, suggested, they'd like to flatline it from last year to this year,
Right.
which I did accomplish that. If you look at the budget. Okay, yeah.
There you go.
I guess I'm open for questions from you people.
Alrighty.
All right, this
So the tipping fee has been set at 66.8. Pardon.
That's correct, Joe, yeah. And our tonnage has increased last year to this year. We've gone up another 143 tons from last year to this year. And if you take the 143 additional tons added on from the 4,500, which it will be 46, 43, anticipated, okay? I'm right at the, I will be at 310, 157.
Yep.
And I budgeted
310, 600.
600. Yeah,
Pretty darn close, Dennis.
close.
Now, they're anticipating the 1st of December to have their single stream facility up and accepting trash. There's going to be a break-in period and whatever down there.
2012, Joe?
In 2012, that's
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
What does that do? How do we get our recyclables? Because it runs from like March to March right now. Is that what we're doing with that contract?
Year end,
Yeah.
November to November.
November to November, okay. So, well, that's not a bad thing then.
Well, as of right now, okay, through October 2011, we have brought down 4,215 tons.
So what I'm wondering is how we're going to get our recyclables down to the single stream facility. Because that's going to require a different kind of hauling.
It will, and you're saying that they're anticipating the plan to start in October of next year?
December 1st is, they would say in October, well, maybe November, but by December 1st.
I guess we would, at that particular time, Joe, we'd have to make a, sit down and talk with Best Ways to see what he's gonna charge us for hauling fees. And then in March, when his contract comes up in 2013,
Yep.
include that in our solid waste collection.
I was thinking that probably the best way, because I don't know, we talked about split trucks in the past and alternating weeks and 2 trucks and alternating days, and maybe the best thing to do is to just put it out, this is our goal, and how can you accomplish it for the most reasonable amount of money, and put that out to everybody and let them come up with a way with a solution. They're the professionals, and obviously the recycle committee last time just didn't have their ducks in a row. As one of the guys, I could speak for me anyway, and let them come up with a solution to it. I was just wondering what we were going to do between December 1st and March.
I think what we'd have to do is when we renew the contract this year in March, the best way. And I think it's been talked that to extend their contract for another year.
Yep.
For those 3 months, or 5 months, if it started in October.
Yeah.
Have them give us a price of hauling it down there. Now, they haul our burnables down there right now, okay, from the transfer station for $150. Okay.
Now, $150 a ton?
No, a load. A load, that's correct, right. Yeah.
And we'll just see what they can do, right? For now, I mean, and because initially, there's no way of knowing exactly when that single stream facility is going to be up and run. They're doing site work, but long ways from being up.
Right.
You have 2012.
Oh, wait, you're on to that.
Well, I don't see it in your budget. Are you
It is
going?
not. It is
You're
not.
going to do it as a warrant article?
I was going to do that on the road, Pat, you're talking?
No, I'm talking about equipment.
I can push that, you're talking about the 1 ton,
Yes.
2012,
Right.
55. That probably could be pushed off for 1 more year, okay? Right now, we've got on the 1 ton, 51,000 miles. Okay? It's an 01. It is starting to occur, quite a little bit of rust. And that truck gets used considerably.
That's a little dumper.
Yes. And that would be the next truck to go, okay? We could, excuse me, we could put that into a warrant article, okay? If we wanted to.
Well, don't you think you should? I mean, you might get another year out, but what do you do if the truck just dies during the course of the year?
I don't think that would happen, okay?
It's starting to incur maintenance costs.
I think one of the plans, and one of the concerns, particularly the Budget Committee, was with Highway and Police, was that we have a 10-year plan and that we set it in motion and we go along and we say, this is what we need, so that we anticipate that this is what's going to...
Each year we'll have enough money to...
Each year we know that
Right.
this is what's going to be replaced, this is what, we could take a break here, we can't take a break.
Right.
And if you skip a year, then somewhere along the line, you may have equipment that we're going to, at one point in time in the future, double up on,
Right.
and that's going to be a chunk out of one budget.
You're exactly right. And normally, okay, when I first started, I did a 10-year plan, and we used to appropriate $35,000 every year for equipment replacement. In the last 3 or 4 years, last couple of 3 years, okay, when the budget has been so tight, I did not put that $35,000 in, okay? But now I feel that we should, okay, start putting that in
Right.
for equipment.
All right, that's something we should talk about when we have a full board, either put that into the
Right.
budget here, or
agree.
put that into a warrant article as a capital improvement,
Right.
Yep.
putting it in for purchases for
Capital reserve fund.
capital reserve, right?
No, I agree,
Equipment replacement.
because right now, we're kind of behind the 8 ball here.
So I would, I think we can review that Thursday
Yeah.
evening.
Yep.
Okay.
and see whether or not we should put it in, and I don't want to get caught. The same thing with the roads, too. I mean, you have roads that are so, it's like the state, they don't do it this year, and then there's twice as many next year, and then there's 3 times as many the next year.
Right,
And now we have Tilton.
right.
Right, and now, if you look at the end, all these prices that I had figured, okay, in the 10-year road plan,
Yep,
is today's prices. Okay?
yep.
But we do have some money in capital reserve, okay, for roads. I think we've got, what, $180,000, $190,000 in our capital reserve?
Right,
Right.
yep.
Do we ever do anything as far as repairs and stuff to the Class 2 state roads?
They are not in this, to answer your question. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't want to do the state's job for them, but our Class 2 state roads are in miserable condition.
They're the worst, okay, of any town road that we have.
Right,
Yes, they are. I totally agree.
but I mean, I don't know. I'm not in favor of taking over the state, for the state, but at the same time, just going down Winter Street, your teeth are loose by the time you get to the bottom. It is disgusting. And it seems like everyone, Caleb Hill, Colby, Clark, Winter, School Street, they're all miserable roads. Well, School Street's not too bad. They did work on that a little bit last year. So is there ever a time, is there something that we can work with the state a little bit without taking, being forced to take ownership? Because, I mean...
They have that 1/3, 2/3, okay,
Okay,
program. But I don't know how the funding this year is going to come about with the,
right.
with their shortage. But at least we could get, talk to them, get on a plan, okay?
I think we need to do something, because even you guys, how can you plow the roads?
It's, before they shimmed Lancaster, okay, and they did Colby and Lancaster, and before they did Church, River, and Silver, every year there was a spring replacement,
Yeah,
as slow as we went, because it was so low.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, I'm not at all surprised. I don't know how you go up the slope on Colby. Because there's
Very
times,
slow.
there were a couple times last year that I had to change lanes to get my car down it because the one side was like this. I couldn't drive over it. I was afraid I'd bottom out.
Right. Yep.
It was awful.
But I think we could at least sit down with Mark Morrow and see what they have for funds, at least get on a program with them.
Yeah.
And incorporate that into our 10-year plan.
I mean, I'm like everybody else on this board. I am not really in favor of spending money on what they should be doing, but quite obviously, they're not going to do it.
They're not doing nothing.
That's right.
We plow them in the winter, and supposedly, they're supposed to do the summer maintenance. Well, there's very, very minimum grading, trimming,
Right.
slope work.
And then when they do send somebody out, it's, excuse my French, are we on camera? It's a half a job. So I think it's something that we really need to look into, because, everyone I talk to, it's like, why aren't our roads better? And I can't say, that I blame them, because they are miserable.
Miserable about.
Yes, I don't know how you do it. I had somebody call me from Lancaster Hill last year wanting to know why you weren't plowing the roads. And I said, oh, I think they are. I know I saw them drive up the road
Right.
with the plow. Well, they're leaving all the snow on it. And I said, because the road's so rough, they can't drag the plow along the road. They'd probably end up losing it.
Right.
All right. Well, it's just something we need to think about, talk about.
Would that be part of our impact fees ultimately?
I'm not really sure that we can charge impact fees for state roads. We can for town roads.
Yeah, well, I'm talking town roads.
Right.
State is the state, and
Right.
we can help where we can maybe, but,
Right.
the town roads, the little roads are pretty beat up too, and we're responsible for those.
Well,
Although I'm here to tell you, Silver Lake Road is a wonderful thing.
Well, a lot of our town roads, I don't feel they're in that bad a condition. They're being kept up. It's the, people don't seem to realize how many of our roads are state roads.
Yeah,
They're
that's true.
not town.
Yeah.
But, and if we could get the state up here to fix them, it'd be wonderful, but
Is there some way we can start some kind of a campaign? Help
Lawsuits?
Concord, come and fix the roads, they belong to you? Show a car in the ditch or whatever?
I really thought that they would maintain certain roads because of the soldiers' home. But that doesn't even seem to be triggering anything anymore. I think it used to, but as their budgets got tighter and stuff, then they just dumped, like Clark, Colby, Winter Street, and they were doing School Street. Now, School Street's not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but at least they did take care of, they shimmed it, which smoothed it out a little bit, but
School Street's always been problematic, even when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Springtime, it goes like this.
Oh, I know.
it's a drainage job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And all of these state roads, it's not just a shim and an overlay, it's drainage,
yeah,
reclaim, it's a total reconstruction.
Yeah.
kind of like they did with 132.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very, very costly.
Yep.
Okay, and I would say that, right off the top of my head, without even just an estimate, that to do from Route 3 to the Soldier's Home on Clark, if you did it properly with all of your cross pipes, okay, doing the drainage, reclaiming everything, you're looking at $900,000 easily,
Yeah.
just for that one.
Well, I think they've ignored
One
them
more.
so long that a lot of the cross drainage and then drain pipes, have all rotted in the ground. So I know on our property, they've replaced 2 now
Right.
because they were just gone. There was nothing left.
It's the galvanized pipe that they were.
Yeah,
From the
They use
50s
back
or
then.
whatever, 60s,
And
yeah.
it's- and it's rusted.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I have,
we'll have to talk about it.
a question on the uniforms you're going up.
Correct. I went up because we've changed the new company, the Simha, okay?
Okay,
We've got Carhartt pants.
yeah,
The price is $60.97. They supply the uniforms and they wash them, and that comes out to $3,100. Before we were Lakes Region,
yeah,
and the pants were real thin.
yeah.
And plus, they sold to another company, okay?
Lakes Region did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Uh,
Well, I'm all in
You're
favor of putting
anticipating-
you guys in the good uniforms, truly,
Well,
especially wintertime, right?
particularly when you work out there working, you
Yeah.
need something
Oh,
durable.
God, yeah, and they're outside all the time.
The salt you're anticipating to be the same, the price?
I am, Pat, and right now, I
Bless you.
spent $22,000 between salt and sand.
Bless you.
And I've got 4 more loads coming in this week, which will detail probably another $8,500, so that will put us up to around, $31,000. And depending on what happens from December 1st to January 1st, I may have to get 1 or 2 more loads.
Right.
Okay,
So you should come in several $1,000s this side of
Bless
the
you.
budget, right?
You-
Goodness.
35,000, 36, depending.
Maybe have a couple thousand left in that fund, depending on what we get for snow.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the whole thing.
yeah. Got a budget for worst case.
Yeah.
Okay,
Why-
did you anticipate in your work, and I know for years now, we haven't done anything with the Grange, but now it's going to be used, it's a municipal building, so plowing and that sort of thing, when you go up and do your plowing, did you anticipate that in this budget?
Plowing portion?
Well, plowing and mowing and whatever you need to do?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. As far as any maintenance-wise expense, no, I have not.
Okay.
Okay? But as far as the mowing and the plowing, yes.
We kind of
Speaking,
do that every year anyway.
We do,
right?
yeah.
speaking of plowing,
Yes.
where are we going to put our snow?
61 business park.
Hay bales around the,
Right.
try to mitigate it as much as possible, yeah.
Yeah, we'll continue to work to find a more permanent solution.
Right.
Do you have any ideas?
I don't, Joe. And the whole thing of it is, because we move the snow during the night period, okay? Residential areas, it's going to disturb whoever's there if we have a site there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
No, I
So
understand.
it's going to be sort of on
Beep,
the
beep, beep.
outskirts of town.
Yep.
Where you're not going to inconvenience any resident.
Right?
Now, snow removal, that's an overtime expense.
It is.
Is there any possible way we could do it first thing in the morning and cut down on that overtime? Close one side of the street and...
But you got everybody coming to town then. Workers,
I'm
people.
just curious how that might work. I'm just thinking in terms of cutting the overtime budget. Can it work doing it first thing in the morning?
I think, well, generally from Park Street to the parking lot on the south side of the main street, is generally no business opens until 9:30, 10 o'clock. The pizza house doesn't even open then, okay? So that snow can be pushed into the parking lot and picked up there. From the parking lot going to the church and Billy Lawrence's, you would have a total of 3 piles piled up there.
Is it a traffic issue?
Well, I don't think it'd be any more of a traffic issue than it is at night. You'd be surprised the traffic that comes through the town different hours of the night when we're doing it. As far as safety-wise, I think it would be probably better because the visibility of the scene of the vehicles.
Yep.
It would inconvenience some of the storefronts, okay, for minimum time. The biggest one would be on the north side of the main street where the restaurant is.
Yeah. You get a lot of cars that park in front of Polly's.
No, I
People that
understand
come
that.
there for breakfast.
I understand that.
Right.
And they're there early. You know, she opens at
6
what?
a.m. or whatever?
6 a.m. So if they can't be done, what's going to happen to all those people who want to stop and have their breakfast?
Well,
Well, if
they
it-
park on the other side too, because I'd split it up, one side one morning, the other side the next morning. Okay?
Could we try it once?
Well, I think that there'd be a considerable loss because there's a lot of people that won't go across the street and walk across the street.
Right.
I don't want
So
to
it's a loss to the
inconvenience any
business.
businesses or
Well,
any traffic.
But
I don't think it's an
you're saying-
inconvenience to the business, but I think it's a loss to the business.
I do too, but I also feel you have to look at it. The guys do not start to work at 5 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock, and they usually show up, what, about 7? So you're going to be paying overtime in the morning, or you're going to be paying overtime
Well,
at
you
night?
might get it for an hour in the morning as opposed to what, 2-3 hours in the night?
And then what happens if
Oh, no,
it's,
it's more than that, Joe.
There you go.
so
But
what-
it's not going, it's going to be more than an hour in the morning too, because they have other things they have to do.
right, what happens if they're removing snow and there are other things that are supposed to be doing,
That
you
they're
know,
ignoring.
either clearing drains or whatever, that they're supposed to be doing, whatever you do during the winter, that's not getting done because we're clearing.
This was an idea that was put forward to me by a resident, and it's like, well, it doesn't sound necessarily like they do it at night because there's reasons. I didn't know the reasons. So that's why I put it forward now, so I could hear those reasons.
Well, we also set up our parking ordinance to where no one can park on the main street from midnight to 6 a.m.
So
This
they
gives
can
them a block of
Accommodate
time.
them so
That
that,
would be an issue, too.
That would
Yes.
be an issue, that's correct.
That would be a
That gives
big-
them a block of time when there's not going to be anybody in their
Yeah.
way, or if there is, they're towed out.
Yeah, yeah, that
So-
totally makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Right-
Okay.
Right now, with the snow removal that we've spent in January 1st, okay, from November 30th to December, to January 1st of 11, okay, not including November, December of 2011. We spent $5,200 in overtime cost, and we spent $38,500 in outside equipment. So
What would that be?
So we got a total of just about $9,000.
38.5, what is that expense, outside equipment?
That's Kenny Partridge's loader, trucks. That's what that is.
Okay, and that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just saw that we had quite a bit of, is every storm event going to be the same as this past one as far as the overtime goes? That's the way it works?
Generally, okay. How I work it is, we will come in at 7 o'clock. Myself, Arthur, and Jay, we push up all the snow, put it in piles, and then the trucks come in at 8:30, so they're not sitting waiting for us to pile up for them to haul it out. So when they generally get there at 8:30, we're ready to load them out.
it depends on how much snow we get too, correct?
It does.
It warrants the overtime like that. I mean, we got whacked with, a couple of
It was a
feet of
heck of
snow.
a snow, yeah.
So if it
It
were,
certainly did.
if it were 5 or
Wet
6
snow.
inches, we wouldn't have had that amount of overtime. You would have just pushed it to the side and said, see you later.
Correct. Generally, I don't pick up the snow on the main street unless
Right.
it's foot of snow.
Right.
Right.
And the first storm of the season, there's probably like a shakedown thing early on. The plows are on, they're all ready to go, everything's set. But I know you've been doing some of this stuff over time, too, greasing and what have you, because I saw you guys
That's all
doing
done
it.
prior
That's
to.
all
Yeah,
done prior.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're all set,
Because we
ready
have
to
take all
go.
the sanders out, put the tailgates on for them to haul.
Yeah.
So we do that during the normal workday
A day like this.
to be ready to go for that
Right.
nighttime work. Right.
And does the Public Works Department ordinarily do maintenance in the cemeteries?
Do maintenance?
No.
No.
Well, they are this morning, and that's why I asked.
Well, we will replace broken fences, okay? If you're asking about headstones and stuff like that.
No. They were picking up, like there was a downed limb, and one of the guys had the blower out. and-
Right now, we're cleaning all the cemeteries that we can,
Yeah.
okay? Picking up the branches, the leaves, okay? So we don't have to do it in the spring, it's a lot easier to do it in the winter.
Yeah.
Yes, we do that, and as far as maintenance on them, if there's a broken board or they need painting or stuff like that.
That kind of stuff, yeah.
We will do that, but
Not the graves themselves, just the grounds.
grounds, that's
Yeah.
correct, yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I see you've got merit raises. Is that 2.5%?
Yes, it is, Bill.
Yeah,
Right.
we've asked them to put that in.
Yeah.
And $3,100 in increased salaries at the same time. Does that reflect the supervisory position that was created? Okay, all right.
That's the difference in the supervisor,
Right.
right?
Yep,
Yeah.
just wanted to check.
No addition to.
When-
Now, are you, what's going to happen with the parks? You usually have a part-timer. Is that in here?
No, it is not.
Okay, so the parks are going to pick that up then? Okay. Got
I
it.
had to cut $4,400 out of something.
I hear that. When was the last time that the employees at the Public Works Department received a raise?
It's been quite a while.
When was the last time?
3
In
years.
2010, they didn't get one, even though it was originally budgeted, according to this. When did they actually get it?
They got nothing.
I'd have to
last year.
look back, Joe,
2008, I think it was.
Yeah.
They some got a nickel, some got a quarter, some got...
That's an insult, a nickel.
Well, no.
It was merit, that's
It
what...
was merit, Joe, and the lowest was 25 cents. Okay? All right? But
Was
I
it?
base it off merit. Everybody over across the board is getting 2.5%. Okay? If you want to raise, you're going to produce.
Things are hard, things are tough,
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
and there's going to be lots of questions. And I
So
want to
Dennis
make sure I
makes a
can answer 'em.
recommendation to us, and then we
I
follow what he
understand that.
says with
I understand that. I was a
recommendation.
little leery about that to start
I
with.
think it was 2008 when is the last time that because 2009, we said no, but no merit, and then 2010, the budget committee zeroed out.
Right.
Right.
So I think
I
it
think it's
was,
been 2 years.
yeah,
In 3 years for
this
some.
would be the third.
The last time there were merit raises given would be July 1st of 2010. The
So that-
budget committee was
Not for the highway,
July 1st of 2011.
not for highway,
No merit raises for the highway?
no.
According to Tim's figures,
No, not last year, no.
10 or 11.
Nobody got them in 10, and last year, the year before that, nobody got them last year at all, Joyce, because the budget committee zeroed them out.
Right.
I believe what he does is he moves the expense from the merit raise pool line item into the cruise wages.
No, no,
Dennis wouldn't circumvent the process.
that's not happening. I didn't even want to hear that.
I have nothing but admiration and respect for the workers that we have in Tilton. I've watched them work, and they're hustling. I've seen them running from job to job. I want to make sure they're taken care of.
Well,
Everybody's got
I
issues.
believe, Joe, okay, and I don't want to get into the hourly rates now, but I feel that everybody there is making a reasonable hourly rate.
As do I. As do I. I'll just let it go at that for now.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that health insurance is the one item that we don't know about. We are working on that, and that we do know that that's considerably up. The selectmen are working on that, Joyce is working on that.
Yeah, Joyce and Tim gave me the figures, okay, on from the dental all the way up to the FICA,
Right,
okay?
so the health portion of it has it going down, and it's actually going up,
Yeah.
right? So barring that, it's pretty good. So it was 1,044,000, you're coming in at 1,023,000.
Well, the 1,044,000, as you know, we contributed $34,000 for the truck, okay,
Thank you.
last year.
Yeah.
I had that in my budget.
Right.
Oh, I see, you're
Say.
515, so it's 1,023,029 and 1,023,544. Okay,
Right.
34, I see, encumbered transfers, yeah.
Right, yes, yes.
And that,
Same as it was last year.
the 28.7 number for the encumbrances, transfers,
That was for the new pickup, Joe, and the plow.
So the item that we need to talk about on Thursday would be the equipment purchase,
Yep.
whether we
Yep.
put it
Into a warrant article or
I
put it
know.
in the budget.
put it in the budget.
Right.
Or warrant.
I think I would be more in favor of bringing it right up there and say, look, you know, if we
Capital
bury it in the
reserve.
budget, then they won't know, and somebody's going to say, oh, you're trying to sneak something. It's like, no, look, we've got these problems coming up, and if we don't put away a little bit now, it's going to cost us a big chunk later. They understand that, I understand
And
that.
we have a plan.
Right.
And we have a plan, hallelujah.
So if we put that money into a capital reserve for the, you know,
Right.
whether it be the equipment purchase or we have one for the roads anyway. But the equipment replacement plan,
Right.
we should do that. All right, so that's one we have to get back to you on, and we also have to get back to you on the health insurance.
Right.
Because that's going to be a biggie. All right.
And also too, okay, with that 10, as you see, Circle Drive is 2012, and
Yeah.
also
Orchard.
Orchard is 2012. Now, either we appropriate that money in a warrant article, okay, or we take it out of our capital reserve road construction fund.
Right.
But now that we have the road construction plan, I think we should be appropriating.
I think we should
more
continue
money
to
than
do
40
that.
More than $40,000 a year.
I see it
What do
coming.
you propose?
Well, over a 10-year period, you're looking at today's prices, $1.6 million. So you're looking at $160,000 a year. 10 years.
How much do you have in there now?
In the capital reserve, I think it's around 190, Joyce, road construction, capital reserve? No. But I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Or maybe 200.
I think it's 220 something.
Yeah, I think
Could-
it's
could be.
somewhere in 200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not over there, we have to bring one up. Joe, look over here.
There's a bunch up
They're over
here.
there? Okay.
I know we appropriate $40,000 per
Is there
year.
anything over here? No?
My laptop's slow, I can look it up on the laptop.
All right, 10, 9, 8, okay. 10 is what we want, right?
Yeah, I can,
I got 10 right here.
okay, and
And if you look on the expenditure report, there's some items that have not got into the expenditure report that I have purchased
Right.
in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
218,898.
218, yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have to come up with a figure for the capital reserve.
And we need to let the residents know what the total, this is what the roads are going to cost over the next 10 years. What level of roads are you looking for?
Well, it's, you have a threefold. One is that we have to continue we have a 10-year plan. The 10-year plan are at today's prices.
Right.
So you have to consider that they're at today's prices, so.
There could be another 10-15%
Right.
increase over the
So-
next 10 years ago.
You're looking at
Yeah.
that.
Right, yeah.
Well, it's at least $1.6 million just in today's prices.
Right.
Yeah.
So the residents need to know, especially, I hear it, oh, the roads, blah, blah. And it's like, well, this is what it costs to maintain roads. And it's going to be $1.6 million, and maybe even $1.8 million or $1.9 million.
Right.
And that would require almost $200,000 a year being
Right.
set aside. Are you willing to fund that level of service?
Right.
Because to all of a sudden say, oh, we need $1 million. That's going to crush
Oh, yeah?
Right.
Yeah,
the budget.
yeah. Unless you took a-
200,000 is
unless you
out.
took a
but
bond out for $1 million and did...
Who wants to pay the interest? Because not only are you paying the $1.6 million or $1.9 million, but then you're paying another 15 or 20% on top of that.
I'd
It's interest
rather
over time.
gradually go into it
Yeah.
and have it,
Each year, build it a
year,
little.
Sure,
Yeah.
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 I mean, worst-case scenario is you might have to bond some. Your ideal is not to have to, but depending on the costs, we may have to. With the idea in mind that, things could happen and the roads could be left disgusting mess, and you have no choice. So, depending on the weather we get. So,
And I know a lot of towns, they do that. They'll
Yeah.
bond $600,000-$700,000 per year for road
Yeah.
reconstruction. Yeah.
So depending on what
Tomorrow, if we
the,
can avoid it.
oh, that's
Oh,
true,
yes.
but you have to deal with the legislative body and whether or not they're willing to put that much aside.
That's why I'm saying they should know right up front, 10-year plan, this is what the
Yeah.
anticipated cost is, what do you want to do?
Well, I appreciate what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. And, open, and here it is, this is what we've got to deal with. But that doesn't mean they'll approve it.
Oh, heavens no, I
Yeah.
suspect they won't, but they should know in advance that they
Right.
can't complain later on.
Right,
But you got a plan.
right,
That's the
I
big-
appreciate that.
You have a plan,
right.
okay? Go by. Same thing with the equipment plan,
Yep,
okay?
outstanding, this is good work, Dennis.
Yep.
I looked up Arthur. As of June 30th of 2010, it was 2394, and then 7/1/2010,
You got a raise.
2434, and
Yeah.
it's been frozen at that since July of 2010.
10, right, yeah. Yeah.
But that
I
was,
did get
So that was 29.
that
He
was,
actually got it.
that he actually got it. It was a,
July.
July of,
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but that money was approved back
Approved
in
in
9.
29.
No, it was in the 2010 budget.
budget.
Yes, approved
Right.
in 9.
But it was
for
approved
10,
in 2009.
for 2010,
Right.
when we did the budgets.
Right.
Because in
That's what we're
2010, the
talking about.
Budget Committee said nothing. They zeroed everything out
Right.
last year.
In 2000, but last
Yeah.
year is 2011. In 2010, when they were doing the budget, they zeroed out for the year we're in right now.
Right.
11.
So last year, they did for this coming year, and this year, we did nothing. No one got a raise. But they also, some of the raises we were going to give last year were eliminated too, because they zeroed everything out. I mean, every department, administrative, highway, and police.
Right, but the last time anybody saw an increase in their wages for merit was
Right.
July of 2010.
Okay.
That's-
But Dennis did very few of his employees.
We did all the things.
They all got something.
Yeah, but not much.
Not much. Right, right.
Some of them got a 0.5%.
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
right,
Right.
right.
so,
Got 2%. Yeah.
and like the salaried people haven't received a raise in a couple years.
3 years,
2010,
Right,
3 years,
January of 2010.
right?
yep. So last time you saw an increase was in '09, right? So, because I know we didn't do any of the salaried people.
Right.
Right. Understood.
We admire your sacrifice.
All right.
All right, any more questions for Dennis? or-
No, I think it's pretty plain to read here.
I noticed that you do a lot of work on police vehicles, and you do a lot of maintenance on the highway department vehicles and what have you.
Yep.
And isn't that a health hazard inside that garage to run those vehicles? Because it doesn't look like you got anything to help mitigate those fumes.
I have no exhaust fans, Joe, that is correct. That's
What
okay.
would it cost to get some kind of a exhaust fan system? Because breathing carbon monoxide can't be good. Opening those doors to run the vehicles, it costs us extra in heat. And I was wondering if that would be a health issue, or what would it cost us? Do you have any clues?
Well,
Curiosity.
a couple of years ago, I proposed that, okay?
Yep.
Put it in the
Oh, really?
exhaust fan,
Yeah?
okay? At least by the rack,
Yeah?
okay? The budget committee blew me out, okay? They wanted a portable exhaust fan, okay, that you pull,
Right.
hook it onto the vehicle.
Sort of like the fire department?
No, nowhere near the fire departments,
Right.
okay? I wanted something like a drop, one drop like the fire department
Yep.
has, that you have your hose, you hook it on, okay?
Got a slide and, yeah.
Well, no, not so much the slide. The slide is a convenient that they don't have to unhook it when they go out the door.
I see, yeah.
It's just a regular exhaust, okay, with the rubber tube that you hook on, okay, and then you hit a button for the exhaust fan to blow it outside. Back then, Joe, I think it was over $10,000, okay? They wanted to put in a small, portable
Right.
ventilation, okay?
Like a propeller fan?
Well,
Blow it out the window or something?
whatever for a couple $1,000s or $3,000. So I just kind of blew that off and left that alone, okay? There are times, yes, that we do run the cars in there, okay? And there's times that we run the trucks.
Do you, like, have something to hook up to the exhaust to run it?
No.
So-
We don't run it any more than we have to, okay? And normally, once you pull it, open the door, the big door, it does,
Everything sucks right out.
it does go
Difference
up.
in
It does go
temperatures,
up,
right?
yes. And you can even see the temperature and the heat, okay? But that's things that, that could be put into a capital plan. And another thing that I really think the town should be looking at is that sewer.
Yes,
We've got a holding tank. We've
Yeah.
been there for 10 years, and we got a holding tank.
Doesn't the sewer run right by in front of the street?
We have put we've bored underneath Route 3, and it's stubbed on the other side of Route 3, and you gotta go from our entrance driveway down 563 feet to hook onto a sewer main, okay? That would eliminate, okay,
The pumping, certainly.
the pumping every month. And, and it's generally $225 per month,
yep.
the pumping.
So that's like $2,500, $2,600 a year. What would it cost to
I
hook
think
into
the
sewer?
last estimate that they got, okay, and I think they looked at smarts to go on it, Dairy Clean, Porter Pavings.
We could sell those stubs, right?
Well,
But didn't Smarts say no?
Smart said no because I think 3 or 4 years ago, they just had put in a whole totally new septic system.
Yeah.
But, I would say that you're looking at probably $40,000 to $50,000, Joe.
But it's a worthwhile thing. What does it cost us a month to pump that holding tank?
$225.
So $225 every month to pump the holding tank.
So it would take 15 years to pay for itself. But it would pay for itself.
Yes,
Yes.
it would, yes.
Eventually, it would pay for itself. It would give them the proper sewer system. And eventually, people between us and where we connect would need to, they would be faced with having to go in the sewer. And
Now,
at that
just
time,
because that pipe runs in front of their building, we aren't going to stick them with a betterment, are we?
I'm not,
That betterment thing, it's like, oh, we're going to put in a sewer to fix the
Well,
highway department,
I think
and now we're
so.
going to charge smart anyway.
The
No.
sewer, okay, depending on what you put in,
right,
okay, would be for the town. Okay?
So just running it past their place wouldn't necessarily stick it on them. Because the way that on Silver Lake, the way it works is if you're within 150 feet of the line, then you're subject to the betterment. Now, I don't know how that came up or how it worked out like that, but
I'm not privy to that. I'm not privy to any sewer things, so let's just move on
how
from there.
the town garage came out that way?
No, the betterment up on
Oh.
Blockmore.
Well, no, I just say that's the way it works. That's the only way I know
No, we'd
it
have
wouldn't
to
work like that down here.
we'd have to invite Johanna over to explain how they do the betterments,
Yeah, I'm not
because
that-
I don't really know.
I'm not that interested. I just wanted,
Oh.
it just seems like ultimately over the next 5 years or whatever, we should seriously look at something like that, I would think.
I mean, to put it in the simplest form, I'm assuming they take the total cost divided by the number of users, and that's what...
Yeah. No,
But,
I understand that part, right?
Yeah.
And I understand how it works, how they came up with it, I don't
Yeah.
know, but I understand how it works.
But it's got to get paid for, and that way it spreads the costs out overall,
Well,
you know, the way we have it set up right now.
Yeah.
But those are a couple things that, possibly should be
Right.
looked at.
Oh, I agree. I mean, the sewer and the exhaust system, I really think we need to consider some kind of a warrant article for that as well. Because that really, I mean, in the summertime, it's no big deal. You just, leave all the doors open.
You pull the truck into the parking lot and it's
Yeah,
starting,
and you
right?
work on it outside if it's a nice day. But, in the wintertime, like I say, every time you bring those big doors up,
Well, especially over there at that rack, because the rack isn't going outside.
Right.
And we do a lot of the town maintenance on police vehicles and whatever, and I've seen them
Yeah.
up on that rack, and I'm thinking to myself, that's got to be, it would make me nauseous being in there with the fumes.
The only thing that saves you, Joe, it's a big area.
yeah.
It's a big area, okay?
And high ceilings.
High ceilings, okay, and we don't run them any longer than we have to. Okay?
Is that carbon monoxide a heavier gas that goes low, or is it a lighter gas that goes high? Or do
I
you
don't
know?
think it goes low.
Some do. I don't know if it's...
I don't know, Joe.
When you get carbon monoxide in the house, it kind of fills up the whole house, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it would start in one area and
Well,
it
like
would
in
either
the
go from the
furnace-
ceiling down or from the floor up.
Well, like if your furnace is not vented properly or it gets blocked, it just sort of starts filling up the whole house. Or will go, if there's any windows open, it will go towards that, but,
The only other thing would be to buy some rubber hoses, okay?
And just snake them out the door?
Put them through the door. You've seen round holes in...
Yeah.
Okay?
yep.
To do that, but the hoses are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive. Then you gotta have somewhere to
Store them.
put 40 feet of hose, okay?
Roll it up on a spool
Yeah.
or something, right?
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions for Dennis?
No, but I do have a question for the board.
All right.
With the money that I'm looking at that I possibly could have left over, okay? We have a 110 MIG welder, okay? That is capable of welding up to a 1/4 inch thick material, if the 1/4 inch material is bead, okay?
Bead? What is that?
When you weld.
Oh, like a corner? Yeah.
Okay. Like right now, I've got some plows that have got 3/8, 7/16 thick steel on them. They do have a 220 MIG welder at main Oxy right here that we do business with in Belmont for $2,100. That would take care of our welding needs that
Would we still need the 110?
I would use the 110, Joe, because the 220 is 220. And we've already purchased that. If we had smaller, the square stock 1 inch by 1 inch,
Yeah.
okay, that we're doing for our beacon lights or racks or something like that, we'd use the 110. But right now, I've got a situation with one of the 11-foot plows that one of the shoes got broke off. So I'm gonna have somebody weld that, okay?
Is Arthur certified to weld?
We all can weld. Are they certified? No. There's no one certified. Okay? But yes, we could weld that if we had the proper welder.
No, I have no doubt you guys are capable. $2,100? You're going to have $2,100 left over, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
It would seem like a logical thing to me. That's just me.
And we do have a 220 line in the shop right now.
You do?
Yes, yes.
In a convenient place.
They want to?
in a convenient place. Your 220 line, the outlets are in a spot where it would be good for welding?
Yes, or you have like an 8-2 or a 10-3 wire that you can use like for an extension cord.
I see. Yeah.
You know,
So it's no big deal.
It's no big deal, right.
Having only 2 selectmen here, we cannot make that decision for you
Well, we'll see you go.
downstairs.
Well, why don't we wait? No, you can get back to me, okay?
Is that the only thing that you'd like with the, at the end, are you anticipating encumbering any monies?
The only one that I'm very hesitant on, okay, and I've talked to Bestway, I think they're gonna come in roughly about the same as what they did last year to renew another contract for this year. The one that scares me is the co-op, and I'm real close to it. Like,
Because of the tonnage.
because of the tonnage factor, okay? And see, right now, with what I've got left over for this year, we won't be able to pay the co-op until January 1st because there's not enough money left over. Like, I'm looking at, we're gonna have left over in December, approximately around $3,400. If the tonnage only goes to 4,600 ton, okay? So we pay the bill in January 2012, so we would have that money, okay, out of the budget. But if we go over the 46, 43 for tonnage, then I do not have enough money in here in the co-op budget line item.
So if we had a contract from them,
You don't have a contract, you pay by the tons.
we have, in order to encumber monies, we have to have some type of...
Purchase order?
Right,
Right.
from them,
Mhm.
in order to encumber the monies.
Right.
So keep that in mind, and if we have that, then we can encumber some of the monies to anticipate for that.
For that, for the 2012 year.
Right.
Right, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm quite sure
Do
we
that.
can get something from Jim. Pressure, okay?
Right.
Yes.
So if Dennis is very concerned about co-op next year
Yep.
being very tight, so we talked about encumbering money. In order for him to do that, he has to have some type of,
Purchase order.
Purchase
Right.
order.
Agreement with Jim.
Right, yeah.
the other thing he would like to purchase with monies left over this year is a 220 MIG welder. Another toy.
Yep.
But,
Hey, Joe's got a whole workshop full of them.
you know.
It's
No,
like,
right now, what I told them, Sandy, our little 110 MIG that we
Right.
have can only weld up to quarter
Right.
inch maximum.
yep.
We have 3/8, 7/16
I was going to say,
steel.
yeah,
So I have to have somebody come in and
Right.
weld for us. And they've got one now at Main Oxy for I think it's around $2,000, $2,100. 220 that will weld up to half inch.
right. But what about your bigger stuff then? You
That would
still
take-
have,
That would take care if it's a half inch thick. The 220 would do it where the 110
you
would not do
want,
it.
right, okay,
You know.
yep. So, yeah, this would be the time to do it. And do it without increasing your budget.
Right, right.
You have a line here that says equipment supplies. What does that mean?
Equipment supplies are filters, air filters, oil filters,
MIG welders?
No,
not really,
that's
Joe.
equipment purchase.
Yeah,
You know, like your greases, your oils, your...
Little things,
Yeah,
yeah,
yes,
okay.
Yeah. And the equipment maintenance is your larger items,
Yep.
your tires,
Yep.
you know, brakes, exhaust, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that you purchase your 220 MIG welder with leftover monies for 2,000.
yep. Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Good.
Yep. So just get yourself a purchase order with a figure on it, so we have something to encumber.
Right, yeah.
For your co-op.
Yep.
For the co-op, yes.
You can go out and buy your welder.
Yeah, both, yeah. As long as you have your purchase order, then, it's all doable.
All right,
Anything else?
that's it. Thank
I
you.
think that's it.
Yes.
So for your curbside collection contract,
Yep.
are you proposing to just extend the Bestway contract for a year, or are we going to go out again in April 2012?
I think the board's suggestion that we had talked before was to extend theirs for one more year, okay, until the single-stream facility got operated.
Right.
So that would mean, which Joe just informed us, that possibly October or November of 2012, the facility should be online.
Right, should be.
So
That's what they're claiming.
that's what they're claiming. So even if it was the end of December, okay, of 2012, it started in January of 2013. We would have 3 months, okay, of
Limbo.
limbo that we didn't include in our contract for recycling. So we would have to, when we negotiated with Bestway this year, we would probably should put something in there of what it would cost for them to haul our recycling,
Just from the highway? not-
just from the
not
highway,
curbside. Yep.
just from the highway to the single-stream facility for the year of 2012 and until March 31st of 2013.
They know that they know it's coming.
Right.
Yeah.
They know it's coming, so they must be planning ahead for this as well.
So right now, our Bestway contract, the one we have right now, expires March 31st.
Right.
So how soon are we going to get something from them to take us from April 1st of 2012 to March of 2013? Because we have to have something in there for those 3 months going into 2013.
Right.
Right, which I had talked with Mark a month ago and asked him if the contract was going to be extended for another year because of the single-stream facility, okay? Would they be interested in doing it? And he said yes, and it looked like the curbside contract would not increase much at all, okay? So if you like, I could have Mark get a hold of Paul, draw something up.
I just think that we need to finalize, at least for 2012, how much we're going to be paying Bestway.
That's why I used the same figure of what he had told me,
Right.
roughly of what we're paying right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? But I can do that, I can get a hold of Mark and have Paul draw something up, present it to the board.
And then in the fall of 2012, we're going to do RFPs for curbside collection,
Well,
and then whatever
Right.
we do for recycling.
exactly, that's correct, yes, yes. The fall of 2012.
Fall of
Right.
2012.
This time next year.
Right.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Because of the what-ifs, it might not be till February 1st. They
Right.
could have permitting issues or hit an Indian burial mound when they start
Right.
digging. There's no way to know.
Right,
Yeah, that's right.
Really.
right.
I just want to make sure we're clear, because it sounded like in some of the discussions with the recycling committee and the board, that we were going to go out to bid this spring, but it's not, it's going to be
No,
fall.
right.
There are some who don't necessarily understand the process, and that you are correct when you assess that conversation that you overheard. Quite
Council?
frankly, there's
Where you going down?
knowing without knowing,
And my favorite one
without
is
knowing,
there
I forget
today.
how it goes, but you know what I mean. Until we actually have a single-stream facility,
Right. We can't release anything out for bid.
Am I going to be what?
we can't. So, and there we go.
I know Cecile, I know Pat.
Those are the only two they're doing this week,
Oh, okay.
and then next week they're doing others. Marion, Clark, and Linden. They're going to try to get on Wednesday.
This week, okay.
But we have quite a load up at the Grange,
Yeah, that's going to be tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll do that.
because there's some on the front steps.
Yeah.
And then whatever's against the building, the
The
outbuilding.
guys will be there. so they don't know what's going to go.
I'll be up there too.
No problem.
All right, thank
We'll
you.
take care of that, we'll take care of Sills and Patty's, and then just give us a list on the other.
And all those bags on the front steps are tiles,
The one,
chipped up off the floor and stuff, just so as you know.
those bags. There's one,
That's going to have to go the best way.
Yep. Well, I just wanted,
the bags that are on the porch, then there's one rubbish one, but the rest of them are all tiles. There's one dead tree. We thought all the dead trees in front of the outbuilding were John Bernard's. But when we went back there, looking at it, there's, the outbuilding comes like this.
Yeah?
John Bernard owns like this.
Oh, okay.
And there's one dead tree right here, and that's the one, well, there's actually two. That's what we're picking up, big pieces of,
Okay, Route 3's down here.
yep.
Okay, all right. Let us look at it.
It's probably about that big,
Oh.
right after the,
Mhm.
it's probably about 10 feet from the wellhead on the left.
Oh, from the wellhead?
Yeah, here's the,
Okay, then I'm-
here.
Yeah, okay.
And-
And here's
and-
Grange Road.
And here's Grange Road right here.
Okay, okay,
And
yeah,
so right in here, it's
Okay.
kind of right on our property,
okay.
I would say.
Would John, the
Well,
abutter,
he's-
would he have
he
a
want-
problem with us landing it on his property?
I have no idea. He's coming to the planning board tonight to
Yeah.
cut all this down,
Okay.
all of it.
Well, what's one more tree?
What's one more tree?
Yeah.
Well, if he gets permission, I'm not sure he's going to get permission,
Right.
I don't know.
because it's got wetlands here.
Right.
If we landed that on his property, okay, we would definitely, like we normally do, we'd clean it up.
Yep,
Right.
Right.
all right. I could call and ask him if we can land it,
Mhm.
and then clean it up.
Yeah.
But,
I'm sure he'll agree to anything today.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tomorrow,
tomorrow
maybe
he
not
may
so
be a
much.
different
maybe a
one.
different-
I mean, I don't know that, but
Right, okay.
it's just, we have, all week long, the winds.
Yeah,
I've picked up branches this, broken up just
Yeah,
all week, all in that path.
yeah.
And that, what I'm afraid of is this is our brand-new air conditioning right here.
yeah.
Yeah,
wham, smash-o.
okay.
That's what I'm afraid of.
All right, let me know.
Yep. For Dennis?
Yes, and the board. The parking lot that is adjacent to the Tilton House of Pizza, I had given you a message from a woman that had called in, wanting to know when the town is going to be putting some gravel or in a guardrail. Did you give that any thought?
I didn't get any message to that effect.
Gravel and guardrail for what?
I have not gotten any message from you from that effect.
For what?
Dennis about it to see if you
Oh.
could put that in your
I have not, Joyce, and I haven't had time to talk to CWS and install the guardrail over there on Pine Street. They would have to be the ones to do that. I'll go down and measure it. But as far as the gravel, we put gravel in there every year, okay? Off the parking lot in just a little ways because it always gets
Washed down there
washed
anyway.
down. Right.
What happened to the guardrail that
There
was
was never
there?
guardrail there,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Yep.
because in here you have 2015, so I didn't know if you were still going to be looking at that.
So I had 2015 for,
The parking lot.
In your
oh,
plan.
for paving.
Oh, that's just paving?
That's just
Okay.
paving.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right, so you can see that. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay?
And then the other thing is, with the Class 2 state roads, when we had sent that letter to Jeff yes, the Assistant Commissioner, we had asked to have a meeting with Mark Morrell so we could go over our Class 2 roads, and they never responded.
Right.
Really?
Try and set that up again, or?
Which we did talk about, that we should,
Well, yeah, we need to meet with him.
to see what programs they have of contributing like a 1/3, 2/3
Okay.
to have the Class 2 roads.
Right, because they're not going to change their maintenance model. Okay, so the board, so that's not the one.
Right.
And
Yeah.
the next thing is, when are we having our next budget meeting?
Tuesday the 15th.
Yeah,
And that would be the sheet?
Yes.
yes,
That's at 7:30 a.m.?
Yep.
yep.
I love it in the morning like this.
How'd you do?
Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis. There's two more items that we can take care of, I think. One is that I don't see that there is the request in here for the monument, the war
Oh, yeah.
monument.
Oh, on the outside agencies, is that where they would have put it?
Joyce, where would that be?
Request for the monument?
Yes, that's right.
I haven't heard back from her. The monument, you're talking about on the island?
Where is it in our budget?
Yeah.
For which, for the
The
island?
monument that Harold Harbor would like to put up for the monument on Canyon.
Yes, it isn't in here.
Where would it be?
That's what I'm just asking. It's not in here. We need to put it in
Outside
here.
agency, right?
We need to put it in here so that we can vote on it, please.
So we're going to
The
stick
budget committee's already voted on it. We
Yeah.
need to
How
vote
much
on
did
it.
they voted $3,000?
3,100.
3,100.
$3,100?
Right.
So why don't we put it in outside agencies for now, for lack of a better place to put it?
Yep.
And I'm just going to put World War,
Just
War
put
Memorial.
conflict.
Conflict,
Yeah.
Conflict
Memorial.
3,100?
Memorial, and
31.
that was 3,100.
And you want that in your outside agencies?
Yes.
Wherever Tim's going to put it,
Yeah, well, we're putting it there for now for a
because we're
lack
going to
of...
vote on it.
Yes.
So I make a motion that we support $3,100 for the War Conflict Memorial at Cannon.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Under cultural, Grange expenses,
Cultural,
Tim has taken the last 5 years of what it was for Grange expenses.
yeah, I copied those if you want to
Did
see.
you get the email? And then he's taken an average of that, what the maintenance, general maintenance is, and come up with a figure of $6,000.
That's our lawn mowing, snow plowing,
That's Mango, that's
sewer.
Mango, the telephone, sewer,
Yeah, all right,
that's
electric.
electric, basic heat. Anything more above that would be chat or whoever's using it.
Right. I copied the email if you need to look at it for anything.
So what he did is he took 2005, 2006, 2008, 2010, and took an average of that. It's kind of hard when we haven't used it for 4 years now, to come up with an average, but,
Right.
so I would say let's go with that figure,
Yep, sounds
and be
good.
comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So I'll make a motion that we go with 6,000 for the Grange
Yep.
expenses.
Second?
All those in favor?
Yes?
Aye.
Yes.
Also, I think we can probably go ahead and knock out like the Old Home Day, Memorial Day,
Well, yep,
those simple ones.
okay. We did Old Home,
Oh, yeah, Old Home Day, but I'm talking about
the Hall Memorial,
All Memorial.
make a motion that we go with 119,200.
Second,
All those in favor?
Yes?
yes. The island, we've already,
Make a motion that we go with 2,000.
2,000 for the island.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
The Park Commission, the Recycling Committee, we can do...
We did that.
We did that one, okay. I don't know, I think we may need to talk about the Park Commission a little bit
Yes, we
more.
do.
I'd like to see a breakdown of it.
Yes,
kinda,
I would
just to-
too.
So I'd be aware.
Yep,
And I can't help but notice that everybody expended $48,026.
No, that's 48.
Didn't.
No, that's 48%, right?
No, $48,026. Every
$48,000.
single
Right.
cultural and recreational thing expended the same amount. It's got to be a,
Oh,
It's the same number coming down.
I'm going to make a motion that we put in level fund chat for $100.
Second, where's that at? Chat.
where is check?
Health agencies, right above.
Oh, okay, chat. For $100?
Yep.
I'll second it.
Yeah,
All those in favor?
Yes.
aye.
Aye.
Are we going to have a meeting with Heather before we
Yes.
approve hers?
Yep.
Okay,
So I think we've taken out pretty much,
cancel highway. Okay, we've got all of our recommendations on the other outside agencies.
We already did Old Home Day, right? Yeah.
yes.
So that's...
So we've taken care of the old home days. We've
Yeah.
taken, the only one we have now is park commissioners, and they're coming before us.
Yes,
Everybody's coming on December 14th to the budget committee.
right,
Next week, we have police coming in
Yep.
front of us.
right.
And then Joyce, you're working on the health insurance
Yeah.
for next week, or whenever you get it. We'll take it as soon as we can get it. Thursday, great.
Okay, and then the administrative, when are we going to, and the land use,
That's,
take care of that? Not tonight, today, but we probably can. I'll be meeting with the board tonight. We'll decide those other issues that Joyce needs to know, and then that
Okay.
way it'll firm up the land use budget. Police is next week, and then the rest of administrative. Are we meeting with the town clerk? Is that on our agenda? And finance?
see when the town clerk, see if the town clerk can meet with us on her budget on the 15th, right after the police. Okay? Is there any more business that needs to come before us?
I would
Quickly.
say, nope.
Yeah.
Joyce?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes?
Yes,
Joyce, would you pick up for 1 minute? Mr. Britton is here. I don't know if you wanted him to go out to Beach Street.
Mr. Britton?
No.
Then I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
Oh, I just wanted to ask for one thing. Did we have minutes for last week?
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't get any. Did you get any minutes for last week or last budget? To see if she did them?
Not that I've seen.
No, I didn't either. I just didn't. Our budget meeting.
Right, but I can't let anybody in there. If he wants to just
No,
drive
not the
by.
budget committee. We met in the morning, last Tuesday morning, right?
Yeah, and I had already...
I mean, we wrote all of our stuff, but we never got any minutes from it.
Okay, thanks, bye.
I know we also met with the budget committee, but
Joyce, do we have any minutes from last budget meeting that we met last
Tuesday.
Tuesday morning?
No, I haven't typed those up.
Okay.
But I did give you the ones from the one before that.
Yes,
Okay.
well, we have those. I didn't know whether I just didn't see them or I missed them or... Okay.
I'll have estimates Thursday night on the tankless hot water heater.
Okay,
I'll have 4, and then on winterizing Beach Street on Friday, when Dennis was in, and Kathy Rossi was
okay.
park things.
Yep.
Dennis said he wasn't going to. He said he's not a plumber, he doesn't want responsibility. So Catherine said, we'll call some plumbers and see what it
Yeah.
costs. So I'll have some estimates Thursday night from some plumbers on
Winterize where?
Beach Street.
Beach Street, okay.
Yeah.
Dennis did go in and assess it for me, tell me exactly how many fixtures
Right.
and underneath and whatever.
Okay.
And then also yesterday, I had a complaint from Mr. Johnson, the neighbor, that wires from 29 Beach Street were hanging in his driveway. Didn't want to touch them. Al was here immediately, bless him. I said, tell me if it's cable, electric, or phone, so I know who to call.
Right.
So he called me from there and said it was cable, so I called MetroCast, and they weren't going to do anything. So I did the escalate up the line
Yeah.
thing, and I was on the phone for
had on speakerphone, he was still working, was on speakerphone, and they sent a truck out right away to move it, because I said, the guy's like, it's in his driveway.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them that we owned 29 feet. I said, this is the town calling.
Yeah. I gave Catherine my copy of Dennis's 10-year plan and equipment purchases. She was going to make herself a copy, and I didn't get mine back.
Oh, she gave me one, and I've written all over it.
Oh, well, let me take one of these and make a copy. And
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I think we did it
We
already.
did, we just haven't had a second.
We just didn't
All
vote.
those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, I'll make a copy of these. So you're going to take off, I'll be here at